There was a great Seinfeld episode many years ago about a car rental company that knew how to take a reservation, but didn't know how to hold the reservation. Well, the same problem can be encountered when we're working with data. We know how to take notes, we just don't know how to find the notes. One of the biggest challenges to keeping pieces of information is finding the piece that you want quickly when the time comes to use it. Of course, OneNote will make that a little easier because we'll have all those notes in actual notebooks. However, these notebooks can become very big, very large, very complicated, with multiple sections in multiple pages. Even though data is organized, there's also a lot of data, so I might want some help to find things quickly. OneNote Office has improved its search capabilities to make finding things easier and faster. One of the things that impressed me when I first used OneNote was its ability not only to search typed text, but also to include handwritten text, as well as images, and even audio and video. In Office, we have advanced the search capabilities so that it mimics what we are already seeing in Office and Windows 7, including a search that can build as you type. So you don't need to type the entire phrase or word, which can be helpful if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. It also saves time because you don't have to type the whole word that you're looking for. The first thing I usually do is set the scope of what I'm searching for. So let's take a look and see how all of that happens. It's actually very simple and straightforward. From the right side of your screen, there is a search box, and currently it says Search All Notebooks. I'll click that, but before I type anything, I want to click on the drop-down. We can search on this particular page, which would be Control F for the keyboard shortcut for Find in most applications. We can also limit our search to this section group, to this notebook, or the default out of the box is All Notebooks. So you can go change this and then set that scope as the default if you wanted to. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, because sometimes having a search that's too broad is just as bad as having one that's too narrow. You really need to set this to be appropriate for exactly what you're looking for, and that, of course, is going to depend on how you've organized your information. It may be that you know what's on a page, or you know that it may be on a section, or it may be that you don't know where it is. It's just in a notebook somewhere. So all of those are available right from this drop-down. I'll keep this as All Notebooks, and then as I click on that, you can see that my insertion point is already in the search box, ready for me to type. I'll type a W. Not surprisingly, we get a lot of results when we type just one letter. But the point here is that we were able to search by simply starting to type. I didn't press enter. I didn't click to start anything. It just happened. Kind of an ongoing thing. And I really love this new feature with the ability to search this way. So what does it find? Well, first of all, at the top it's telling us that we're currently looking in All Notebooks. And if we don't want to use that scope, we could click to change that immediately. What we also see is that it categorizes the results. First of all, we have Windows 7, and if you look at the icon, this tells us that this is a full notebook. Notice on the right-hand side, you don't see any other information because it is a notebook itself. Then we see one where it says Early Adopters Rollout will be, and that, of course, is where the W comes from. This is not an entire notebook, but it tells us on the right-hand side exactly what it is. It's in Windows 7, and then using our normal file syntax, it tells us that within the Windows 7 notebook, it's in a section called Implementation. So we can get a lot of information about what's being found by simply looking closely at what the research results tell us. That will allow us to narrow things down. In addition to the title contains, we also have a section where it says, but let's say that I didn't want all of these entries. I want it to be more specific. Then all I need to do is to continue to type. Let's type WIN. As I type each letter, the list gets smaller and smaller, and now I'm down to just 2 titles with WIN in them and 2 entries where the body contains WIN. This, of course, means that it's easier for me to find exactly what I'm looking for, and I can type as much information as I need to get down to the level that will make it easy for me to use. Let's say that I've decided which one of these I want to see, and the one I want to see has to do with features. I'll double-click that. That makes the selection and also collapses the search pane so it gets it out of my way, and now I'm able to work with the results. If I wanted to go back to the results, I can simply come back and click on it one more time. And you'll notice at this point that it's keeping track, and I can see recent picks. This is a section that I was interested in recently because often we want to go back to the same areas over and over again. All of this is pretty obvious, and if you've used Windows 7 or any of the new search features, you'll probably be familiar with this. If you haven't used any of these, then it's new, and I hope you'll find it useful. What may not be completely obvious, though, is that there are some other things that are going on behind the scenes. Search results are ranked, so the system learns from our past choices. It will prioritize our pages, page titles, notes, and recent picks so that we can get to the results faster. And that is really critical because there's so much information we can keep here. But what is current, what we've searched for, and what we've used most recently are going to go in with combinations of what we actually type for keywords in finding the search results that we're looking for. Being able to search an electronic notebook will save most of us an untold amount of time. I know I've spent far too much time watching my staff flip through pages back and forth in notebooks, trying to find exactly where they wrote that short little snippet of information. And yes, they often switch to another notebook, trying to find things there too. With OneNote's enhanced search features, we can conduct quick searches as precisely or as generally as we need to, and it will be just another tool in our arsenal that lets us manage this information and find it when we need it, how we need it, as we need it.